Okay, welcome back to the final part of making a master mold. Now what I've done here is I've cut me some sides, and this is going to hold our plaster in. Make sure I do it the right way. Okay. So what we got to do is we're going to just take some tape. Now you could cement these damn walls yourself if you wanted to, but since you have to tear all this apart to get your mold out, I don't see the use in gluing them on, because then you could use the styrene for something else later. Now I did the styrene for the base is 20 thousandths. For the sides I did use 40 thousandths. 20 thousandths probably would have been okay, but I went with a little thicker for the sides. The tape holds the plaster in just fine. Title there. And that's the 5/16 is on this side. I'm going to take these tape the corners better when I get done here. And again, I marked my, one side was 5 3/8, the other was 5 5/16. Not much of a difference, but I did mark them. That should do it. Just make sure your corners are taped in good so you don't get no leaks and the walls don't fall down on you. Alrighty, so now what we've done is because I laid it across the bottom first, turn it up a little bit there, and then laid the styrene on it and folded it up, I got a nice no leak seam along the edge here on the four sides. The corners should be okay. It's easy if you put a tape on there in the corner and fold it over the back corner. Ensure you don't have a leak. But the way I mix the plaster, I mix it kind of thick anyway. So we'll be back in a minute, and we'll pour in some plaster. Okay, through the miracle of cameras, I've got me some plaster mixed up here. I'm just going to mix it for a minute, let it get just a tad bit thicker. Alright, probably still a little thin, but I've got a couple of rocks here in case I mix too much. We're going to fill this right up. Okay, I'm going to stop right there for a second. Just tap it. That helps get some of the air bubbles out by tapping it, but it also spreads it out. And look at there, I thought I was going to have to add more, and it's right up to the top. You can see some air bubbles popping up. But you do want this base to be nice and flat. I'll pour me some little rocks here that I'm wanting for my river. Just pour them right in here. Use up the rest of that batter mix. Now I did spray some Windex in these molds. Alrighty, it's only been about 20 minutes or so. It's getting pretty warm, but it's should be molded enough we can take this apart. Let's see, and because I use the tape, I can just pull it down and break the tape. Okay, that side wants to peel off, fine. Just go around. I'm going to take and peel this piece off. Alrighty. This is what we were after. Okay, final product. It's been another 20 minutes or so. I'm going to real time see if I can get this to release. I'm just grabbing the rubber edge here. Well, it's starting to lift up, so it's coming out easier than my other one did. My first one that I had done. I'm just peeling the rubber up off the edges here because it's kind of set down inside the plaster there. Alright, let's try to get this side up. And I'm putting quite a bit of pressure on there. There it goes. She popped loose. Alrighty. This is what we want. I still got the original in here, so we're going to peel that back. That two-sided tape left a film on there. Alrighty. This is still damp, still drying good. But I thought maybe my first one I let dry for a couple of days before I tried taking it out of the mold, and it was real hard to get out of there. So I was hoping maybe taking it out while it was still damp would make things any better. Okay, so now we got our mold. You could use your mold like this, I guess, if you wanted to. This one doesn't have any features on it that really makes it where it's got to be in that mother mold, other than something could maybe bow out a little bit on the edge or something. But now you take and spray the inside of this with a cooking spray. I used one that had just was a cooking spray with flour, and I lightly sprayed it in there, and I took a piece of tissue and I wiped it all out, the excess off. And then you set this in your master mold. And what this does is, this master mold or mother mold ensures that this stays perfectly the same way the original was. This does have a lip here that might hold it up on the one end if you didn't use the mold. I need to lightly trim a couple corners here, it looks like. I don't trim the outside, just a little bit on the inside if I need to. But now I can make up some batter mix of my plaster, fill this in, give her a tap so she levels out nice and smooth, and I'm guaranteed pretty much that every one will be perfect to the original. No leg will be curled up a little bit, you know, because I guess these could curl up a little bit like that if you didn't have it in a mold, in a master mold. And then it could curl up a little bit, or something could get a little bit off-centered like that, you know, pulled apart a little bit, or anything like that. But this master or mother mold, as they call it, will keep this in perfect shape while you're pouring your mold. Alrighty, that concludes this how-to video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Comment, leave a like, etc., etc. And oh, one more thing. Before we leave, here's something I'm experimenting with. 55-gallon drums. These were included with the bridge track from Microengineering. They come with 2. I had bought 3 bridge tracks because I got 3 bridges to put in. So I a couple of sticky 2-sided tape on there, set them on there, put a coat on it so they would adhere good. I just got a second coat on it now. You can see the barrels is pretty much dried, but it's still wet on the base there where I put it kind of thick, because I want to make sure that it stays thick around the barrels. Because I know when I go to fill these, I'm going to have to turn them inside out, so I want to make sure I would stick around the edges there. But we're going to give this a try. I don't know if it'll work, but if it does, I'll have a neat little mold for some 55-gallon drums. Alrighty, again, thanks a lot for watching. Hope I helped someone out.